Hello everyone. Let us discuss about the another chapter previous year question for that is the chemical coordination and the integration. In the last video we have discussed about the PYQ of the locomotion as well as the neural control and coordination chapter. So today let us discuss about the chemical control and coordination chapter previous year question. So actually not too much, but this chapter is little bit related with the human reproduction chapter. Okay, so human reproduction chapter is actually having the hormonal balance as well as the disbalance. So in that we should know about the hormones as well as the glands, about the hormones and the glands. So if we knows about it, so definitely we can understand the concept of the human reproduction chapter also. Okay, so for that we should know that chemical coordination and integration previous year question. So I hope that you all have revised properly, you all have prepared very well for this chapter. Okay, so let us start. Here the question number first is in front of you, that is matching. Okay, so here the question number first is asking for the matching the correct option. So here the pituitary gland, thyroid, adrenal, pancreas. We know very well that pituitary gland is having the two part, anterior and the posterior lobe. From the anterior lobe different hormone was secreting, and from the posterior lobe different hormones are secreting, and the hormone as well as the function also completely different. Okay, so let us see that which hormone is responsible, which gland is responsible for which disease. Okay, so here the Graves disease, first we will talk about the Graves disease. Graves disease is actually because of the it is actually the exophthalmic disorder, right? It is a exophthalmic disorder, and it is because of the hypersecretion of the thyroid gland. Okay, it is because of the hypersecretion of the thyroid gland. Okay, so here as if we will talk about the hyposecretion of the thyroid gland, so from there also, like because of the low secretion of the thyroid gland, some diseases are like the cretinism, myxedema, Hashimoto and simple goiter. Goiter is very important, okay, in which the uric acid accumulation would be there, and rest of these also you should know, CMHG, like that you can make a code word and you can learn it. Cretinism, myxedema, Hashimoto as well as the goiter. Acha, one more thing, exophthalmic disorder also known as the exophthalmic goiter. Exophthalmic goiter. So this is important, don't get confused in the question. If they are asking for the simple goiter, so you should go with the hyposecretion. If they are asking for the exophthalmic disorder, then go with the hypersecretion of the thyroid gland, and also known as the Graves disease. So three names for the same particular disease, so you should go with the Graves disease or exophthalmic disorder or the exophthalmic goiter. All are because of the one hypersecretion of the thyroid gland. So thyroid gland means B should be matched with the first one, B first here in these two options, and thyroid gland. Okay, so pituitary gland we knows very well. From the pituitary gland which hormone was coming, that was the vasopressin. Okay, and vasopressin also known as the antidiuretic hormone, and this antidiuretic hormone is responsible for the diabetes insipidus. Okay, which is giving this, because of this actually water level was not reabsorbing in proper amount, so ADH was actually controlling this disease. ADH is actually controlling this disease. So basically we can say that pituitary gland is actually from the posterior pituitary gland one hormone is secreting, that is a vasopressin or the ADH, from which if it is not in control, this hormone is not in control, then in that case diabetes insipidus will occur. And from the pancreas, insulin from the beta cells. Okay, from the beta cells of the insulin, from the beta cells of the pancreas, insulin hormone is synthesizing, and this is actually not controlling in glucose level. In that case it will cause the diabetes mellitus. Okay, so the D should be 2, D should be 2, and B is 1 and A3 pituitary gland means here would be the diabetes insipidus, so it is A. Okay, A3. Okay, and the D we knows pancreas, from the insulin we have seen diabetes mellitus, so D2. So we will go with the second option. Okay, now the next question is this one. You knows very well that A is what, it is a hormone, and in this question if they are asking for the hormone, so definitely they are showing that response 1, response, there would be response 2, Okay, and in the response to what would be there, that means response would be means these are the secondary messenger. These all are the secondary messenger. So in the we have seen the signaling in this chapter in the last of the NCRT, last page of the NCRT of this chapter. There is two signaling mechanism has given. One signaling in which the steroid hormone is there, which will go with the help of the hormone and the receptor complex. Directly this hormone receptor complex was actually going to the nucleus for the activation of the DNA or the RNA. So because of that, this was happening because of the steroid hormone, because steroid hormone can cross the membrane. Okay, so steroid hormone can cross the membrane, it will enter into the nucleus, but the water soluble hormone or the non steroid hormone cannot cross the membrane, so they will not enter directly into the cell, but they will give the signal to the receptor, and receptor will give the signal to the messengers. So the receptor would be actually the primary messenger. Okay, it would be the primary messenger, and the other messenger would be like the cyclic AMP, calcium molecule, cyclic AMP. Okay, or phosphatidylinosytol inositol phosphate, which will break into the PIP. Okay, PI or IP3, basically we can call it IP3 or the DAG molecule. So that also the IP3 and the DAG molecule. So these all are actually the secondary messenger. These all are the example of the secondary messenger, and this all is actually happening into the non-steroid signaling. So let's see in this one. A is actually the hormone, B would be the hormone, B would be the receptor which is attached with the hormone, but it is not going inside the cell, because response they are showing primary response or the secondary response. So we can say these are actually the secondary messenger. These are the secondary messenger. Okay, so we can see now. A is protein hormone. Okay, protein hormone means it is a water soluble hormone, non-steroid. C is hormone receptor complex. C is not the hormone receptor complex, so it is incorrect. Second is B is steroid hormone. You have to make a complex like this. Okay, like this. So here B is steroid hormone, it is not the steroid hormone. Again C is in the C option, protein hormone. B is a receptor and C is a cyclic AMP. Cyclic AMP is actually the secondary messenger. Okay, cyclic AMP is secondary messenger. In the fourth option, steroid hormone they have given, so it cannot be, it is not the steroid hormone. B and the C matching is correct, but A is not the correct. So because of that, we will go with the third option. Let's see the question number third. That is, by the following and select the correct option. Pituitary hormone, epinephrine, endorphin, or the cortisol. Pituitary hormone is actually peptide or maybe the proteinaceous hormone. Okay, so steroid hormone we knows very well, the hormone which is actually interact with the lipid molecule. That is what steroid hormone, and we knows very well from our NCRT table of this chapter that which hormone is steroid, which is non-steroid. That is a cortisol. Okay, cortisol is what? Cortisol is actually the steroid hormone, where it has given in only the one option, D1. So we will go with this option, but rest of the other also we should know. Epinephrine is actually biogenic amine, given in your NCRT. It is a biogenic amine. So again here in the B will be matched with the fourth one. And C is endorphin. Endorphin is a neuropeptide, or as well as it is a neurotransmitter. Endorphin is what? It is a neurotransmitter. Some other neurotransmitter are also there that you should know, like the glycine, GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid. Okay, as well as some other molecules like that dopamine, serotonin. Okay, dopamine as well as the serotonin. Okay, these are also the secondary messenger, as well as the endorphin. These are only the few I have given, but other many are there. These all are actually the neurotransmitters. Okay, now let's see the question number 4. That is, hormone is stored and released from the neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis means posterior pituitary. Okay, posterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary was adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis. It was the anterior pituitary. Okay, so here if they are asking for the neurohypophysis, so we should know that it is actually they are talking about the posterior pituitary. It has come into the NEET 2020. So only the hormone which are coming from the posterior pituitary gland, posterior part of the pituitary gland, they are actually having the ability to store the hormone. That is a special form of the hormone, a special type of the gland in which this can store hormones, and whenever required then they will release on need. Okay, whenever needed, in that case it will release the hormone. So oxytocin and vasopressin, or the ADH, antidiuretic hormone, they both are actually from the posterior pituitary. Prolactin is from the anterior pituitary, so we cannot go with this one. Thyroid stimulating from the anterior pituitary, oxytocin is the posterior pituitary, so we cannot go with this one. FSH hormone is from the anterior pituitary. Okay, anterior pituitary, so again we cannot go with this one. Now let's see the question number 5th. Insulin, thyroxine, corticoid, growth hormone. Simple question only for you, that growth hormone you can match very easily with the acromegaly. Okay, acromegaly. And Addison's disease related to the adrenal gland, hypersecretion of the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland, if it is showing the hypersecretion, hormones of the adrenal gland which is in the hypersecretion condition, so it will cause the Addison's disease. Okay, this will occurs because of the hypersecretion of the adrenal hormones, or the adrenaline or noradrenaline, all the hormones which are coming from the adrenal gland. If they are not in the control, it is hyper condition, so it will be the because of the adrenal gland. Okay, so now let's see, we will match. Goiter, as I told you in the previous question, that goiter is the simple. Goiter means they have not mentioned about the goiter that it is a simple or the exophthalmic, so you will consider it as a simple goiter. So this is actually from the hyposecretion of thyroid, so hypothyroidism. Okay, so this would be the hypo. So usually from the hyposecretion means this is the thyroxine, means B should be 4. Okay, B should be 4. Here B is 4 in these 3 options. Okay. Now insulin we knows very well, it is related to the diabetes mellitus, means glucose is not in the control. So because of this, what will happen? Insulin is actually not controlling, so diabetes mellitus. So A5 in these two. Okay, so the answer should be the third one, as well as the C option. Okay, C is the answer. As well as in the third one, C is what? C is actually the corticoid, and corticoid is glucocorticoid. Again, here I should tell you that from the adrenal gland, it is having the two parts, cortex and the medulla. Cortex as well as the medulla. Okay, so from the cortex, you knows very well, there are the 3 layers, outer, middle and the inner layer. Okay, so let me write that. Outermost is the zona glomerulosa, middle one would be the zona fascicularis, and innermost would be the zona reticularis. Okay, zona reticularis. From the zona glomerulosa, mineralocorticoid hormone is coming out, is secreting. Mineralocorticoid. The hormone name is aldosterone. Okay. So from the zona fascicularis, glucocorticoid hormone, and the hormone which is, that is a corticoid hormone. Okay, then zona reticularis, you knows very well, sex hormone are secreting from here, that is a androgen hormone. It would be the androgen hormones or the sex hormone. Okay, so basically you can, I hope it would be clear to you. Okay, so I have explained this in the previous. Now question number 6 is, name the peptide hormone which act mainly on the hepatocyte, adipocyte, enhance the cellular glucose uptake and utilization. Hepatocyte means it is affecting the liver cells. Adipocyte means in the adipose tissues, enhance the cellular glucose uptake and the utilization. So what is they are telling actually? They are actually telling us that the glucose molecule which was present into the blood, okay, glucose from the blood, it is actually decreasing. It is actually decreasing. How it is decreasing? By sending the glucose molecule to the liver to synthesize the glycogen, okay, to the adipocytes or the adipose tissues for the synthesization or the storage condition in the form of a fat, okay, or maybe going to the cells for the cellular uptake, for the cellular uptake. So that means it is a function. What it is indicating? It is indicating that this is the function of the insulin. It is only the doing the hypo secretion or the hypo condition for the glucose. That is because of the insulin only. Glucagon is actually increasing the glucose level by taking the glucose out from these all organs. From the liver also glucose will come out, from the adipose glucose will come out, and the glucagon will inhibit the cellular uptake of the glucose, so the glucose level will increase into the blood. Okay, so because of that it cannot be happen. Okay, and secretin is the from the pancreas. Okay, it is not related to the glucose. Gastrin, again digestive enzymes, digestive enzyme or working as a digestive protein. Okay, so now this is the question number 7. Next is the question number 7. Posterior pituitary gland is not a true endocrine gland. Because why? In the previous question also I told you that the posterior pituitary will able to store it. Here I showed you that posterior pituitary can store the hormone and can release. This is the gland which is very special, which can hold the hormone. That is what they are asking in this question. That posterior pituitary is not a true endocrine. Why? Because it is having a specialty that it only store and release the hormone. It can store it whenever needed, so it will release the hormone. Okay, so because of that we will go with the second option. Okay, duct is present into the anterior pituitary, not into the posterior. Okay, so because of that it cannot be the answer. Regulation of the hypothalamus, again related to the anterior, not the posterior. So it is again wrong. And it secretes the enzyme? No, it is not secreting any enzyme. Question number 8 is here in front of you. Which of the following pair of the hormone are not antagonistic, having the opposite effect, that is to each other? So relaxin and the inhibin. Parathormone means PTH, and calcitonin means thyrocalcitonin. So actually from the thyroid gland we have seen the two type of the cells, in which follicular cells and the parafollicular cells. Follicular and nearby parafollicular cells. Parafollicular cells. Okay, so from the parafollicular cells some other hormone is there. Follicular cells thyroxine hormone is there. From the follicular cells thyroxine hormone is there, which is having the function in, to control the basic metabolic rate. But into the parafollicular cells we have seen PTH, thyrocalcitonin, basically we will call it thyrocalcitonin. Okay, TCT, thyrocalcitonin. So thyroxine as well as the thyrocalcitonin, it is all from the thyroid gland. But if we will talk about the parathyroid gland, which is the 4 lobes on the behind of the at the behind of the dorsal surface of the thyroid gland, that is a parathyroid gland. It is a parathyroid gland, and this parathyroid gland will secrete the hormone parathormone hormone. So the function of these two hormones are completely different. TCT will cause the hypocalcemic condition. It is a hypocalcemic. It will cause the calcium level low. But the parathyroid hormone, it is increasing the calcium concentration. It is a hypercalcemic. It is a hypercalcemic. So we can say that they both are actually the antagonist with each other, right? In the same way, like from the pancreas we have seen, from the pancreas structure we have seen the central duct. From there some acini cells are secreting the digestive juices. Okay, these are the cells of acini. These acini cells will secrete the digestive juices. Okay, these are secreting the digestive juices. Okay, while the nearby cells which is present here, alpha, beta, gamma, so there are the 3 cells, alpha, beta and delta, not gamma, sorry, delta. Alpha cells will secrete the glucagon hormone. Beta cells will secrete the insulin hormone. as well as the delta cells will secrete somatotropin hormone. Okay, glucagon will increase the glucose level in the blood. Insulin will decrease the glucose level into the blood. Okay, it is inhibiting the growth hormone. So they both are actually again antagonistic to each other. They both are antagonistic to each other. Okay, so that is what they are here. These two are antagonistic, these two are antagonistic. Aldosterone will increase the glomerular filtration rate, while the ANF will decrease the glomerular filtration rate, right? So they both are also antagonistic. Relaxin and inhibin, they are completely different from each other, their function is different, so they are not antagonistic. Inhibin is secreting from the Sertoli cells, and inhibin is actually inhibiting the function of the FSH. It will inhibit the function of the FSH. Okay, so answer should be first option. Now the question number 9 is here. The amino acid that is a tryptophan, which is a aromatic amino acid. Tryptophan is a aromatic amino acid. The precursor, it is a precursor of which of the synthesis? Actually, melatonin and the serotonin, they are synthesizing from the tryptophan amino acid. Okay, so we will go with this one. It is a memory based question, you have to learn it. Achha, from the thyroxine hormone, we can say the precursor for the thyroxine hormone would be the tyrosine. Again, it is a aromatic amino acid. It is a second aromatic amino acid. Okay, so you should know from the tryptophan, melatonin and serotonin, and from the tyrosine, the thyroxine hormone is synthesizing. Then question number 10 is, a pregnant female delivers a baby who suffers from the stunted growth, mental retardation, low intelligence quotient, abnormal skin. This is the result of what? Actually, they have given the symptoms and they are asking for the disease. Okay, so you should know that because of what? It is because of the deficiency of the iodine. So we will go with the fourth option. Okay, not because of the low secretion. It is not because of the GH. It is not because of the thyroid. Cancer of the thyroid means hypersecretion, they are telling. Okay, not because of the hypersecretion. From the hypersecretion, I told you simple. From the hypersecretion, exophthalmic goiter was happening. Now question number 11 is, we have to match the thyroid, source gland hormone and its function. So hormone name they have given, function they have given, we have to match it with their perfect function. So the thyroid gland is actually secreting the thyroxine, regulating the calcium level. No, it was actually controlling the basic metabolic rate, not the thyroid. It was the function which was controlled by the thyrocalcitonin, I told you in the previous question. Okay, from the parafollicular cells, synthesizing from the parafollicular cells of the thyroid gland, parafollicular cells, and it is actually hypocalcemic, right? Remember, hypocalcemic. Okay, now anterior pituitary is secreting the oxytocin. Okay, but anterior pituitary is not secreting the oxytocin. It was from the posterior pituitary actually. Okay, so it will be incorrect. Posterior pituitary vasopressin or the ADH hormone, and it is from the reabsorption of the water and from the DCT of the nephron. Absolutely correct function. This all happening because of the RAS mechanism. RAS mechanism of the excretory chapter we have seen. So we will go with the third option. Okay, so the answer would be the third option. Corpus luteum is not secreting estrogen, it is secreting progesterone. Okay, so the fourth also will not be the answer. Now let's see question number 12. Question number 12 is given below is a complete table about the certain hormone and the source of the gland and the major effect of each on the body. Identify the correct option of the three blank, A, B and the C. So you have to find out the A, B and the C. So here A is what? Like estrogen. Estrogen was synthesizing from the Giraffian follicle cells, right? It was secreting from the Giraffian follicle cells. And Giraffian follicle cells are into the ovary, right? And the maintenance of the secondary sexual character, that is correct. And alpha cells of the islet of Langerhans, it was secreting the glucagon hormone, we have seen in the previous question. It is increasing the glucose level. Next is the anterior pituitary. From the anterior pituitary, what was coming? Growth hormone was coming. Oversecretion will cause the gigantism. So definitely they are talking about the growth hormone, because many hormones were secreting from the anterior pituitary. So here it is all given in the option number second. So we will go with the B option. Okay. Okay. So the correct option is B. I hope these 12 questions helped you a lot in understanding the process, like how the things will happening into this chapter and what type of the question could become. So just be careful for this. In the next video, I will bring some other questions of the other chapters, like from the animal kingdom or from the structure organization also, and then we will move to the 12th biology. Okay, I hope this will help you a lot. Just stay study and be in the practice of the previous year question. Okay, so just acha, one more thing, for my motivation, just please do subscribe, as well as give the like, as well as comment also. So if you will give the comment, so definitely I will come with the good spirit and I will give you like my best. I will give you. But if you will not give the good comments and if you will not like the session, so it will be demotivation for you, and I also will not do much hard work. Okay, so please do that, and thank you. See you in the next video. Thank you.